breaking news from KXAN News.
Good afternoon. I'm Robert Hadlock. Leslie Rohde has the day off. We're following breaking news out of College Station. 5 people shot there this afternoon near the Texas A&M University campus. Brazos County Constable Brian Bachman and a 65-year-old male bystander were shot to death. The gunman is also dead. 2 College Station police officers were injured. Their injuries are not life-threatening. A 55-year-old woman is also listed as wounded. We have team coverage this evening for you. KXAN Shannon Wolfson is in the College Station area at the medical center there, where many of the injured are being cared for right now. We also have our Ignacio Garcia and Aaron Cargyle here in Austin, but we begin with KXAN's Chris Sadeghi live in College Station. Chris?
Robert, we're here where they've been given the updates all afternoon long on this shooting, and here is the latest of what we know right now. Constable Brian Bachman was in the process of serving an eviction notice at this home when the first shots were fired. When other officers showed up, Bachman was down in the front yard of the home. From there, neighbors say bullets were whizzing everywhere for about 30 minutes. At the scene, we saw shells lying all over 2 different streets. The perimeter for this crime scene is a very wide one, and officers were able to shoot the 35-year-old suspect in the gunfire exchange, and by the time the bullets had stopped, 3 were dead: the constable, the gunman, and another bystander. Other officers and civilians were also injured. Information and details are still coming in, but it is a very dark day in College Station.
It is a tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those involved, the families of those involved, and we will do our best to conduct a very thorough and accurate investigation to try and determine exactly why this occurred and provide some answers to the public.
And in addition to the 3 who were killed, there were others shot. Others were injured also, and Shannon Wolfson is at College Station Medical Center with the latest update on those that were impacted.
Chris, 5 of those victims were brought here to College Station Medical Center, including 4 law enforcement officers. So as you can see behind me, many of those law enforcement officers have gathered here. They are rallying for another officer who we're told was shot in the leg. He is in stable condition right now. That is good news. 2 other officers have been released. One was brought here with some sort of chest pain. The other said that he felt lightheaded and dizzy after the events this afternoon. Hospital officials tell us the shooter died here, and so did Brazos County Precinct 1 Constable Brian Bachman, who was an 18-year law enforcement veteran here in Brazos County, and as the sheriff told us just moments ago, was a hell of a good officer. In fact, aspired to be sheriff of this county one day. He leaves behind his wife Donna, 14-year-old son Colby, and a 9-year-old daughter, Caitlin. Live here at College Station Medical Center. Again, just 1 patient left here, that law enforcement officer who was shot in the leg. We're told now in stable condition. Very good news. Across town at another hospital, we know there is a 55-year-old woman who was also shot at the scene, a civilian out there who is in surgery. We do not know much about her condition except that she is in surgery right now. Hoping to have more on that for you in the next hour. We're going to be live here, back here at 6 o'clock tonight. For now, we are live in College Station. Robert, back to you.
Shannon, thanks. Today's shooting brings back some terrible memories of a gunman on the campus of UT Austin. That case 2 years ago, and today's shooting, both UT and A&M quickly alerted students. KXAN's Ignacio Garcia has more from the UT campus.
Robert, I spoke to Chief Robert Dahlstrom at the University of Texas here in Austin. He told me that in the event of something like this were to happen here on campus, they are fully prepared to go into action with a moment's notice. It's been nearly 2 years since a gunman opened fire on the UT campus, sparking terror with students, staff, and employees. 1 person died that day. But the memory of that event fresh in the mind of Police Chief Dahlstrom, who has been watching today's events at College Station closely. He says his department is constantly training and always prepared for situations similar to what happened near the Texas A&M campus.
Our protocol is one, you always prepare for the worst and you plan for the worst and you hope that never happens. But we have plans in place where the officers have been trained and working with all the surrounding agencies to respond to this type of situation.
He adds that tens of thousands of emails and text alerts can go out in an instant. The idea to alert as many people as possible of dangerous situations going on campus at any given time.
We have multiple ways to send in and out. We would set the siren off in a situation like this. We would send out our text messages, email messages, pager messages, Facebook and Twitter. We have a lot of different ways that we would get our messages out.
The police chief also added that they are in constant communication year-round with the Austin Police Department so that they can both be prepared in dealing with a situation like this should it ever occur. On UT campus, Ignacio Garcia, KXAN News.
It may be more than 100 miles away from Austin, but plenty of people in our area have a deep connection with College Station and the Texas A&M community. KXAN's Aaron Cargile live in the studio with more on that.
Yeah, Robert, there are plenty of alumni here in Austin who stick together, as well as Aggie parents. With the first day of classes exactly 2 weeks away, some kids are already back on campus or getting ready to head that way in the next week. Les Stobart will be moving in his son Colin into the dorms next weekend. The 18-year-old will be a freshman. His father learned about the shooting at work today. He started searching for information online and called a couple of friends in College Station. He knows the neighborhood well, where it happened right off the edge of campus. Les was already experiencing the normal nerves any parent has when a child leaves home and heads off to college for the first time. But despite today's shooting, he still believes his son will be in good hands.
College Station, I've been there many, many times. I've spent years there myself, and it is a safe little town. I think the university is a well-run university. This type of thing, can anyone second guess, police officials or officials in general about the way things were handled? Yeah, you absolutely can. But in general, do I feel like the city is safe and the university is safe? Yeah, I do. It's a good place.
And I spoke to another father here in Austin whose son will be a junior this coming year. He's already down in College Station right now because he's in the Corps. They were out practicing today, and while eating lunch on the campus, he told his father they heard the gunshots. We're hoping to talk to him a little later this evening. Live in the studio, Aaron Cargile, KXAN News.